gentlemen, welcome to Best of Wrestling Podcast with your host, CJ Price. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Make sure to join us on Facebook, Best of Wrestling Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. We're going to have a lot of special guests down the road, including tonight. We have a very special guest. He's the King of Thicc Style. He's on the rise in the independent wrestling scene. He's going against really big names in the independent wrestling scene. Sam Stackhouse. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good, doing good. Happy to be here. How you doing?
I'm doing very good, and I'm very blessed to have you on, man. Because, like I said, I know you've been killing it on the indies lately. So, yeah, let's dive right into it. First of all, I want to know, how'd you get into professional wrestling as a little kid?
It was my brother actually. He's the first one that I remember ever showing me wrestling, and he still watches it to this day. But he's the reason that I found out about like ECW. He's the reason I found out about pretty much anything. The first pay per view I ever watched was an ECW pay per view because he showed it to me. So yeah, it was definitely my brother that got me into it.
So, how old were you at that time?
I was probably like 9 or 10. Pretty sure something like that. Yeah, 9 or 10 years old. Well, that's what I remember. I'm sure I've seen it before. My mom said my dad used to watch it, but I don't remember seeing it. But I mean, like I said, that's the first time I remember watching wrestling. I was probably 9, 10 years old.
Yeah, I think I was around the same age when I fell in love into wrestling and started watching it religiously.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So you were 9, 10 years old watching wrestling. When was that moment in your head where you said, "I want to do this. I want to become a pro wrestler"?
That was also my brother that put that into my head too, because like I've always been able to do flips and stuff because I've been big my whole life. But even then, even back in the day, I would do flips off the diving boards and do gainers, do all kinds of stuff off the diving boards. My brother always said that I would be good at wrestling, and then uh, so that's pretty much put in my head. And I never thought it was going to be a thing until like it's all every kid has that thing they want to do, and I wanted to be a wrestler, but I never thought it was going to be a thing until I was about 18 and found out there was a wrestling school and stuff in my town. So.
So how did you find out? How did you find out about wrestling school and stuff?
I was at a party with my ex girlfriend at the time, and this guy was wearing a wrestling shirt. And we just started talking about wrestling, and then he told me that they had like an indie wrestling show, which I didn't know indie wrestling was a thing then either. Like I had been to a show in my hometown. We have this thing called the Indoor Fun Fair every year. We used to have it, and it was in the middle of February, March, in the middle of winter. And but they would have like rides. We have this big old building at the fairgrounds that they could fit rides in and stuff. And they would have wrestling there. And I went and saw one of those shows a long time ago, and that's the only thing I knew besides WWE and ECW and stuff like that. And he told me that there was a local show, and I started going. I went to the shows every Saturday. They ran every Saturday, 8 o'clock. I went there for probably 4 or 5 months, and then like they would say about the school every day or every show they would promote the school, and then I finally just took the plunge and showed up on a Tuesday with my money to start training.
So who was your trainer and what was the wrestling school called?
I trained at a place as Compound Pro Wrestling. It's not even around anymore. I was trained by some Oklahoma local guys, Shane Morbid, Dutch Hagen. Yeah, I mean they were local guys. It wasn't the worst training. I mean, I'm sure there's worse out there, but like I said, it was local. I didn't do like some of these guys now. Like they have access to Booker T schools, Cody Rhodes. Like all these guys have schools now. I didn't. I think I remember when I looked it up, there was maybe like a few. There was a few of those back then. Because that was way back. It was also I say way back. It was like 13 years ago, I guess, 14, 2009. I remember there was like a big school in Atlanta, but I mean, I was 18, couldn't I wasn't about to be able to afford to do that or anything. So I just went to the local school and it turned out well.
So what do you train now?
There's a few places that have rings up here. Wrestling for a Cause, they have a ring up here in the WH. They're both organizations that help with charities. One of them is for childhood cancer. The other one feeds hungry people. And they have a building that they operate together, and they have a training place up there. I go up there sometimes and catch the training up there.
So let's talk about Sam Stackhouse as a person, as a wrestler for a little bit. For those people that are listening to us right now that are watching, who is the King of Thicc Style, Sam Stackhouse?
Hey, I'm just one of the people. I'm a person that doesn't look like a wrestler. I don't like. I mean, I don't have I don't have all the charisma in the world. I can't cut this big old like show stealing promos and stuff like that. Like I don't have big muscles and stuff like that. Like I look like I should be paying for a ticket basically most of the time. But like what you get with me is like I go out there, I surprise people because I can do stuff that people my size should be able to do, and I have a good time doing it. That's just me. Like I have fun doing this, and now all this stuff that's popping off now. Like I met my family, my wife, and everything through wrestling, and we have a daughter now. All that was given me through wrestling before any of it actually like took off, and now it's my job. All I do is wrestle on the weekends. That's all I do, and sometimes during the week. Now I think I've covered all 7 days now, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean that's just me. I'm one of the people that I'm just lucky enough to get to be in the ring and live this dream. It's insane.
I was gonna mention that your size and stuff, that you don't
Yeah,
look like a professional wrestler. No offense,
yeah. Oh no,
but I've
nothing.
seen your work and you're amazing in the ring, man. So let's talk about that. Early on in your career, I'm sure you had some doubters and haters. How'd you handle that?
Oh man, I'm. It takes a lot to get to me. I'm like happy to a fault, I guess, because even sometimes when I should be mad about stuff, I'm not. So, and like, there's nothing that any of the haters are going to say that I haven't said to myself already, because I'm my worst critic. And believe me, if I can handle me, I can handle what anybody on the internet's going to say.
So let's talk about your style. You always doing some crazy stuff in the ring, man. I've seen some of your stuff, and wow. I'm talking about death match. You can do death match. You can do lucha. You can do pretty much everything. So, what is your style, and what do you like to do in the ring?
I like everything. Like like you just said, I dabble in deathmatch stuff. I have fun doing that. I've wrestled some of the best luchadors just this past few months. I've wrestled some of the best luchadors, the best deathmatch people, the best technical people, high flyers. Like I mean, I try to work a style where I can try to keep up with everybody because at the end of the day, I obviously can't do triple moonsaults stuff like that. I can give you one moonsault, but I mean, I can do stuff, but I've what's been made me successful is I've been able to find my way of knowing exactly what I'm capable of doing with my body and being able to like incorporate it with other people's styles, and so I can basically do. I mean, I've wrestled just about all the styles, so I guess that's what the thick style is. It's you can be whatever you want to be, just like wrestling. That's why I love wrestling. It's whatever you want it to be. There's no set blueprint on how to do things. You can do whatever you want to do, and you find what you're good at and stick to doing that, and what you have fun. That's the main thing.
Well, from what I've seen and the way you move in the ring and stuff, you kind of remind me of. I'm sure you've heard of this comparison, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. That's Bam Bam Vader, Umaga, like all those guys. Those are my people.
So, how'd you get into? How'd you rose up so quickly in the Indies, man? You've been in the ring with a lot of great names.
Man, it was literally just it's been almost exactly a couple weeks ago was a year, and really it was I had it was 2019. I'm sure you saw the spot where I went flying over the top and
Yep.
put that dude through the table. It went crazy viral, and that happened back in like 2019, and nothing really came of it. I got some more followers and whatnot out of it, and even like Stone Cold and all these people like tweeted about it and stuff. And then I guess it was early 2020, I guess 2021. Yeah, early 2021 it was. Stuff started going viral again, and then TikTok, and then I got a message from Brett Lauderdale, who's the promoter for GCW, and I was sitting at my computer or at my desk playing Madden, and I got a message from him saying that he had seen some people had sent him my clips, and he wanted to work with me at some point. So then a couple weeks later, they announced that GCW is going to be in Texas, and I'm in Oklahoma, and Houston. This is about an 8.5 hour drive, but I went down there and got an opportunity and took full advantage of it. And then since then, it's been crazy. I went from wrestling like 4 times a month to now I'm wrestling 3 or 4 times a week. I'm doing 1,500, 2,000 miles every week. It's just been insane. But yeah,
Yeah.
it went from zero to 100 real fast. Like a year ago, I had like 200 and something followers on TikTok, and then I just passed. I'm over 16,000 now, just in the year. And like I went from wrestling, people that are on the same level to me that I've wrestled I've wrestled people that I never even thought that I would be in the same room with without paying, and I've got to wrestle them. And just this month alone, like I wrestled Masada last week. I've got Jacob Fatu in a cage this weekend, and then Cowboy James Storm in a couple weeks, and then Shane Taylor in a couple weeks. Like it's just been crazy.
How do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about all this coming in all at once? Like, do you feel the pressure? Do you feel like you have to step up your game?
Oh, I 100%. And like, I've processing wise, I still haven't processed stuff that's happened last year. Because I mean, I've been in the Hammerstein Ballroom just was it 6 months ago. Like that's some wrestlers. Like Matt Cardona was probably the biggest star on that show, and that was the first time he'd ever wrestled in that building. And I got to do that just as me. You know, I didn't have to go through. I didn't have to go through everything he went through to get there. I got to do that, and like I still haven't like been able to process stuff that's happened a year ago. But I mean, I definitely feel the pressure to step up again because like I'm getting lucky because you know there's like a time whenever you have a dream, you know, and then whenever there's only certain lucky people get to have that dream turn into like the life your reality, you know, and I fully I'm not blind at all to the privilege that I have of doing that, and like it's just insane all the stuff that's worked out. Like I have the perfect spouse to be successful at this. Like I get lucky that I can do the things I shouldn't be able to do. I have friends that help me out. Like it's just been it's just been crazy. But I definitely feel the pressure. Like I was having today. Today was a day today. I've been having a bad day today. And I just woke up and like I've been haze all day. And I was talking to my buddies and that's what I think it was because it's just like every weekend more and more people are coming up to me and telling me how much like how important I am to them and how much they like me and how much I mean to them, how much what I do like inspires them and stuff like that. And like I mean that's heavy, and I'm not complaining whatsoever at all. Like like I said, I'm living my absolute dream right now. But yeah, I mean I definitely feel the pressure to step up my game, and I hopefully I haven't been disappointing.
And I was gonna say that with all the success that you've been having, you seem very humble, very level headed, and not a cocky asshole.
No, not man. Because like I said, I'm thankful to be here and like just like I said, I have my wife and my daughter all from wrestling. Like I could have before all this stuff has just been cake. And now, like I said, it just went. It's now I'm just living a dream life. Like it doesn't even seem real, and I'm not oblivious to that, and I will never ever take advantage of that or anything because that's just like I said, that to me, like one of the reasons that I think all this stuff is happening is because I have for my entire life I've tried to put good in the world and be like a good person and like because I found in my life like the guilt is way outweighs anything. Like I hate feeling guilty about stuff, so I just live my life with trying to not feel guilty, and that's worked out that way because now like a lot of the opportunities I've gotten were from people that you know I helped out and didn't even like didn't do it for a return or anything. That was just something I did at the time, something I might have said that lifted them up or something, and they remember that. And then now I get a call from a promoter that they had worked for and stuff like that. So it's just it's just one of those things. Like it's one of those pay it forward things. Like I put good stuff out, now it's coming back, and I'm going to continue to put more good stuff in the world because I want more people to be able to feel what I'm feeling. Because like I said, this has just been an absolute crazy year.
So we're getting all these opportunities that you've been getting now, and basically, probably you can get any match now that you want. Is there any wrestler you want to get in the ring with that you haven't had the opportunity yet?
Calvin Tateman. Every time people ask me that the past few months, I've said I want to wrestle Calvin Tateman or Willie Mack because Willie Mack is also a dream opponent for me. Because before it was always Jacob Fatu, and I'm about to have my second match with him. So, and that was crazy because standing in the ring after the first match, I was standing in the ring because I went out first, and like I had to look at the ref, and I was like, that's freaking Jacob Fatu right there. That is like, yeah, dude, it's been crazy. Yeah, I think me and Calvin Tankman could I think we could do some crazy stuff.
What about any independent shows that you haven't debuted at that you have your eye on potential?
I'm trying to get up there to Defy Wrestling. Like that'd be fantastic. I'm got some more GCW stuff coming up. Um, I mean, I don't know if Ring of Honor is like technically an indie anymore, but I mean that's always been a dream. And now that that's hopefully coming back, like that's a thing. I mean, but I'm like right now. I mean, I'm willing to. I'm just trying to get the reps in, trying to learn, trying to hone, you know, trying to hone the craft so that I can continue to do this.
What about some AEW Dark? I'm sure we can see you down the road.
Hey, hey, that'd be cool. I got a lot of friends there right now, so who knows? Who knows? I just
Yeah.
gotta. That's why I'm gonna keep grinding until they notice you. That's about the only thing you can do. Is like I always compare wrestling or indie wrestling, anyways, to any kind of entertainment. Like, which I hate calling entertainment. You know, we can have that debate, whatever. But like it's just like any like an indie artist. Like if you're a music person or like an actual artist, like you can be. I guarantee you the best. I say this a lot too. I guarantee you the best professional wrestler in the world is not signed anywhere, and probably nobody knows knows his name besides maybe a few like his local fans. and all it's going to take is for the right person to see that person, and then everyone will know his name. So, and it's just like it's just like indie artists. You got to keep grinding, you grind, and then eventually the right people will see it and it pays off. So that's the stage we're in now. I'm going to keep grinding, putting these miles in, doing shows. I mean, I don't have an open Saturday until I think December, and so that's what we're going to keep doing till AEW or anybody notices.
I'm sure you'll get noticed very soon, man. Like I said, your work. Um, I think the reason I added you was because I saw a death match that you had, and it was nuts. So
Well, and that's not like I'm not like a deathmatch guy, but like when I do it, like I'm not gonna go in there and half-ass them. I'm gonna go do them because I love that style of wrestling. I said the ECW was the first like real wrestling that I ever got into. So I love that style of wrestling, and lately I found myself kind of enjoying it more than the regular wrestling. So I don't know because I that Masada match, that was probably the most brutal match. Those skewers are no joke.
I
those
know, man.
yeah, those are no joke. But I mean, I kept up with him. I took him to his limits. So
So, what's one thing that you learned in professional wrestling that you carry on into your personal life?
um, I mean, just like I said, just treat everybody the way that well, I hate the golden rule thing. Treat everybody like you want to be treated. But I mean, like I treat my life just like wrestling because, like I said, my whole thing is like the same person I am at the wrestling shows is the same person I am on Monday through Thursday when the fans don't see me and I'm at home. I'm the same person because fans message me during the week and they're gonna get the same Sam no matter what. So I mean I'm the same the same no matter what. So I kind of did the opposite. I took my real life into wrestling, I guess, and then so now they're kind of just interchangeable.
Do you think you get a little overwhelmed sometimes with all this happening to you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like I said, like today was one of those days. I was having a bad day today because as I just woke up and I felt like it was like a physical pressure, and I'm one of those guys that I'm not ashamed to talk about the mental health in wrestling and how important it is because like us as professional wrestlers, our mental health is like in the dumps right now. Like I've just in my local area of Oklahoma, we buried eight wrestlers this year, and three of them were suicides.
Yeah.
And I mean, eight of them for anything is a lot, but for almost a half of those have been suicides, and and it's happening all over the country though, because I see wrestlers. Because right now, like I'm getting a lot of new, like I'm getting a lot of new contacts, a lot of new I'm meeting wrestlers from all over the country. So I'm in different groups and stuff now, and I'm seeing, and it's not just central to where I'm at; it's happening everywhere, and it's because we don't talk about it enough. And like the locker, like and I don't understand now because now at this day and age, it's the safest time to talk about it. And there's all kinds of resources and stuff, and like we're all going through the same stuff. Like at the end of the day, the wrestling industry is just like any kind of other thing like this, where you yourself are the product, and that's hard. So it's not like we're selling like physical items. I mean, we have merch and whatnot, but I mean, at the end of the day, the actual product is ourselves, our bodies, and every bump we take, everything, all that, and that gets bubbled up, and then on top of that, you've got to deal with the real world, and the real world isn't too great on a lot of people. So yeah, I mean, it weighs, but I mean, like I said, I've gotten lucky that I have a lot of coping things. I'm good at dealing with it and getting out of my head and stuff. Like I said, I had a bad morning, but I talked to somebody, and then the rest of my day was just fine. And because I realized, like I said, like, this is exactly what I wanted. Yes, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure for people, but this is the life I've dreamed of. Like I've been preparing myself mentally and everything my entire life for the pressure of this, and like because just the other day I had he said he was 16, and he was about 420. I'm not gonna say, like, he was about 420 pounds, and he was telling me how much like I inspired him to, like, I'm about to cry. Like that's insane because I was that kid. I was in high. I remember when I got out of high school. Well, I didn't even graduate high school. When I left high school, I was already almost. I was like 375 pounds or something like that. And so just that's like I said, that's a lot of pressure to perform and keep doing all this. But I welcome it, and we like. But I've talked about this a lot about the culture in the locker rooms for wrestlers, that we need to change it and be more like inclusive, like, because like wrestling can be everything, but we need to all talk. Like, it's okay if you're having a bad day, talk to somebody. I guarantee you there's another wrestler that's going through the same thing that you're going through, whether it be with your family or you're having struggles in wrestling. There's all, And I've also found, because I've gotten lucky and I found the right wrestlers too that have helped lift me up, because there's been a lot of people that have names and have built their names up, and they're willing to pull you up and help you out and give you advice when you're stuck and stuff like that. So just reach out. That's the biggest thing. Just reach out.
100% agree with you, my friend. And speaking about that, I was just talking to another wrestler on my other podcast that you have to have a support system in wrestling to be successful in this business, because without that, there's a very, very slim chance that you're going to make it.
That is very true, and that's one of the things that I'm not oblivious to on me, because I have a support system that's built for this. I met my wife through wrestling. I did a show. It's been 8-9 years ago now, something like that. And the promoter put her as my manager for my tag team. And then now we've been married for going on 6 years, and we have a 7-year-old daughter. And so she understands wrestling. So like, because I've been on shows with guys who have to like send pictures to their spouse to prove that they're at where they say they are going to be at. And I don't have to deal with any of that stuff, because my wife, and she used to be a wrestler too. Like, she's had matches. And my daughter, she was, I think, 2 weeks old or less, but when she went to her first wrestling show. So I mean, my sister, God bless her heart, she's been the one that's driven me around a lot since this stuff, since I've been putting in all these miles. So I mean, she's been a blessing. I mean, she's the one. Yeah, there's been a lot of opportunities I've gotten that I wouldn't have been able to get to if it wasn't for her. So I have an insane support system. I've got very good friends. Like, yes, and that's super important. And like, that's one thing that we need to work on building. So, like, there's a lot of wrestlers. There's thousands of indie wrestlers in this country, and we could all be a support system for each other. But it's going to take work.
I agree, my friend. So speaking about putting in miles and stuff, I'm assuming you have at least one funny road story that you can tell us.
Ooh, shoot. Let's see. Like crazy that happened to me, or just some crazy stuff I saw? I don't know.
Just one funny road story that comes to mind.
That's tough. I'm gonna talk. So I was at the airport in. I guess it's technically not. I mean, I wasn't on the road, but I was at the airport in New York when I did the Hammerstein show, and it was the first time I've only been on airplanes a few times before that in my life, and so like I got a massage at the airport place, not like a weird place or anything like this, and like I don't even know why this is funny to me, but it cracked me up, because I'm fairly positive that this old man like elbow dropped me Macho Man style, because we talked about wrestling. I told him that I was a wrestler and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that he, like, Macho Man elbow dropped me off the counter while he was giving this massage, because there wasn't anything, and I heard wrestling, and then all of a sudden, I felt his elbow right in the back, right in the small of my back, and I'm fairly positive that he was up on the ropes, like doing it, or up on the dresser doing the Macho Man thing, and just held off an elbow drop me. It's crazy, like a 70-year-old man.
He was like, you know what? I might be 70, but I could still.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, because we talked about wrestling for a while, and he was talking about guys like this. I'm pretty sure that that's what he did, because it was weird. It was funny though.
So you've traveled a lot. Is there any states that you want to wrestle in that you haven't wrestled in yet?
I want to go to California and Florida. I haven't hit any of those yet. The furthest west I've been is Vegas, and I get the New York is the furthest east I get. But so I should be knocking off New Jersey coming up soon. So hopefully, yeah, Florida would be awesome. Maybe like not in the summertime though, because wrestling in Texas in the summer is something.
It's brutal, huh?
Yeah, because I wrestled last week. It was an outside show. We were like 10 minutes from Mexico, and it was like I had to pass through the border patrol stuff when I was leaving town. So like, we were down there in the desert, and it was hot, but it was a nice little breeze, because the night before I wrestled in a building that had no air conditioning, and it was worse in the building than it was outside. But it was 107 or something like that at 8 o'clock at night. That's crazy. But yeah, definitely I want to get out to California for sure, because I got new friends and stuff out there that I want to get out there to see.
I was gonna say Florida sounds better. Yeah. Florida, as we all know, is the hotbed of professional.
Yeah.
So you'll get a lot there for sure.
A lot of important eyes down there.
For sure, absolutely. So I hope you get down there soon, my friend. So a couple more questions for me. First to last question is, what are you looking to get out of this business? Like, what is your main goal? I know a lot of a lot of guys say, "Oh, I want the contract," but besides the contract, what's your main goal? What are you looking to get out of professional wrestling?
I want it to be my life. Like I want to be like after because I've started my own merch. Like I do my own merch and I do merch for other guys and stuff like stickers and stuff like that. And we just got stuff to upgrade to start doing T-shirts and whatnot. So I'm gonna have that soon. Um, I mean, basically, my like I said, my goal is to never have to leave professional wrestling. So I want to be involved in wrestling in some form. So like obviously now the goal is a contract, but so then I want to continue to build my name as a good person in wrestling. So then obviously like I'm putting a lot of damage on this body. So I mean I'm not gonna be able to wrestle for 50 years, but I could be involved in the wrestling business for 50 years. So if I can't wrestle anymore, like I can still do the merch stuff. And if I build my name up right and have a reputation, then I'll be able to do that successful. And then yeah, just I want wrestling to be my life basically. Like that's what I want out of it. I don't want to just get signed, do a couple things, and then leave wrestling and then go sell houses or whatever like that. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to take care of my family by doing what I love to do, which is professional wrestling. I watch more wrestling than I watch anything. Like basically every day I'm consuming some sort of wrestling. I'm doing some sort of wrestling. So that's what I want to continue to do that for the rest of my life. Because normally by trade I'm a truck driver, and that's what I was doing before this. And like I'm not complaining about that. That was a good job, made good money, it was fine and everything. But I mean, it wasn't what I wanted to do, obviously. And now that I've got a taste of this, like I don't want to ever go back. So
I'm
that's a
sure.
long answer, I know, but yeah.
No, okay, man. I'm sure you have a lot of good things in your future, man. Like I said, I've seen you in the ring with a lot of good names, and I'm sure you have a lot of good names in the future to get in the ring with down the road. And you're already in GCW, which is a great step up.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's going to be definitely a lot of more independent wrestling shows hitting you up for bookings.
Yes.
So speaking of bookings and stuff, last question for me:
Mhm.
if you were AEW or in a WWE ring with a live mic, what would you say to the fans?
Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna say like man, I've often thought about like what I would do if that situation ever happens, and like it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for me to get any words out because I mean, like you watch some of these guys, even like I watched Cesaro debut on AEW, and like the look on his face when he came out and got that reaction and stuff. It like that dude's been wrestling for like 15 years, and you could still tell that it still like affected him. So like man, I would say thank you because basically if I'm in the ring, if I'm in the middle of the ring with the mic, it's in AEW or WWE, it's because the fans got me there. It's because they tweeted or shared my stuff so much that they could not look at me. That's so I would definitely thank you would probably be the first words that come out of my mouth for sure.
And any social media or anything like that you would like to plug, go right ahead, my friend.
All right, yeah, I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of the Sam Stackhouse. Next month, or well, thesamstackhouse.com is already up. There's not much on there yet, but next month we'll be launching like the store where you can buy merch and you can buy stuff on there. I'll have all the social media videos and stuff on there. I'll be posting matches. I'm going to try to do a vlog. I've been working with it. It's weird to me to just record all the time, but I'm working on it. So we got some big stuff coming up there. Social media, just follow me on there, and I try to update everybody every day on all of those. And you can reach me out. Like all the DMs are open if you get anybody has questions or anything like that.
Well, there you go, my friends. Go follow my friend, the King of Thicc Style, Sam Stackhouse, one of the hottest rising stars on the independent wrestling scene today. Don't forget his name because he's going to be on the rise, folks. And if you make it big, don't forget about us, my friend.
Oh, I definitely won't. Definitely won't.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate your time, and we wish you the best in luck in your career.
Thank you.
Have a good one.